Hello, everyone. I'm Carl Wilhelm, and I'm your webinar facilitator. Thanks for joining today's webinar on empowering frontline teams with wearables, with a focus on consumer packaged goods and the manufacturing industry. Looks like we have a great turnout today, so without further ado, today's presentation is brought to you by Realwear. Our speaker is Aaron Cohen, Director of Senior Global Marketing at Realwear.
Hi, thanks, Carl. Thanks for organizing this, and for everybody that's attending. Why don't I just kick it off and start with the program agenda? So today's brief session, we're going to cover a little about Realwear, the problem we're trying to solve, the solution, the use case, and a bit about our ecosystem. Two or three case studies, a quick conversation with Carl, a little video, and wrap it up with a demo. So let me go ahead and kick it off. So first, a little bit about Realwear. We are essentially the quintessential success story of a startup. We relocated from Silicon Valley to the Pacific Northwest to take advantage of the amazing talent here, the cost of living, and of course, it's a very, very business-friendly environment. For these reasons and many more, I was personally really excited to join Realwear. I'm surrounded by an amazing culture of people, talent, and it's just super smart people. So while we are based in Vancouver, we actually have offices in Amsterdam, Dubai, Tokyo, Singapore, Bangalore in India, and just pretty much around the world you can reach Realwear. We have grown to over 100 employees, and we are growing fast, and our customers and industry analysts, as you will learn from this presentation, refer to Realwear as the gold standard of industrial wearable head-mounted systems. And I know that's a little bit of a mouthful. We'll talk about the device today and the solution. We have been recognized widely, and and you'll see a bunch of the awards on the slides, but just this week we were actually awarded by XR Today, a popular magazine, Best Manufacturing and Industrial Solutions. So kudos to the Realwear team for pulling that off. So we talked about sort of Realwear's at being the gold standard. In fact, just to put a fine point on that, 41 of Fortune 100 companies use Realwear. And many of them have actually standardized on Realwear for the frontline teams. And we'll talk about why. So let's talk about maybe some problems the industrial worker has. What are they facing today? Because that'll set a little bit more context. So the world is changing, as everyone knows. There is incredible complexity, and it's really happening on the front lines. There's a lot of stress on the front lines. They have very old tools still, for the most part. They're playing catch up with knowledge workers, keeping up to date on all the information needed to keep your facilities and your machines and your workflow going is a challenge. There's fewer people working. There's a skills shortage. There's a labor shortage. And they're trying to solve problems in real time and keep uptime going, right? On top of that, there are safety concerns. You could easily get distracted when glancing down at manuals. Safety is paramount, safety first, right? Also, while knowledge workers are all online, connectivity is light or weak in some of these areas. So with all of that said, Realwear kind of comes into play with this full stack solution, and that's what we offer. It's not just the hardware, it is the full solution. And so we're kind of well known as a device, but it's really important to understand that it's a productivity platform. And it's helping frontline workers with these, what we call hands-free solutions, meaning you don't need your hands, you don't need to hold anything to refer to manuals. It's all on the system or conduct workflows. We're excited about bringing in the cloud as part of the offering, and you can essentially, it's included with the device, and IT admins can essentially administer the devices, deal with security, Wi-Fi, which apps people get. The whole kind of cloud offering is part of Realwear, and you can have a basic or pro subscription to that. So very cool that we have this full solution. And then from a productivity platform perspective, there's really 3 products we currently have, and we'll have more soon. The first 2 are part of our Navigator 500 series. The middle one has a larger screen. It's called a hyper display. Essentially similar setups. And then the third one on the right with the red is an intrinsically safe certified wearable. And what that means, it can go into even more hazardous zones where there are risks for explosions. So it's certified as C1, D1, ATEX Zone 1. And that's called an intrinsically safe device. So we say that we transcend tablets by being completely hands-free, and that we are better and smarter than glass for many, many reasons, which we'll talk about. It's a completely different form factor than what I'm wearing. It's a monocular display for one thing. It connects to your PPE and much, much more. So I'm going to play a video, and it goes by pretty fast. So I'll just cover a couple of the key features that I think are of note. Navigator 520. So you can see we talked about hands-free up to 100 decibels. So that's very, very loud. It's modular, so it's future-proof, right? You can add, upgrade, etc. The screen we already talked about, big, bold, sharp. It's really easy to see. You can move it out of the way, and you can take pictures with this camera. You can pop the camera off, put in a thermal by FLIR camera to really see the invisible in terms of hotspots on your machines, right? It connects to hard hats very, very easily, and there's many, many hard hats out there. I will also mention this battery. So the battery is, you can pop it on and off. It's hot swappable, and it's compared to like a traditional glasses, like a smart glasses type form factor. This device works full shift. That's a pretty hefty battery, and that's very, very helpful. Great processor. It's Android device, meaning we've got loads of apps that work on it. We talked about the safety already. You can move that display right out of your line of sight and have full line of sight. So it doesn't block your vision at all. And when you're just working and you don't need it, maybe you just need the audio, you can just move it out of the way. So the whole thing is very modular and adaptable and moves around. So use cases vary, right? Out of the box, you can basically put a blueprint, a schematic on it. And while you're working on a machine, you can actually see that exact schematic. Say you have a very large schematic, you can zoom in on it, freeze the window, and start working. It's all without just with your voice. So for example, it has an included flashlight. For example, you just say flashlight on, and it immediately goes on. You say, open document, you can say freeze window, and it is like 98% accurate. And as you guys know, if you're using Siri or Alexa, right, you don't get that kind of experience. It misunderstands and so forth. This is all command-based, and so it's just incredibly accurate, even with many, many different languages. You can take pictures. That's fantastic for inspections and audits. Then if you want to get help with a machine, say you have a yellow wire and a red wire that is crisscrossed and you don't know it, you can literally go, you say, call so-and-so up, call Dave up. Dave answers the phone, the software on his laptop, and sees through that front-facing camera exactly what the frontline professional sees. And in some apps that we have, you can basically annotate on the screen, circle draw an arrow and understand, and they can also share their screen with you, the frontline professional. So you can get your work done very quickly, and that saves lots and lots of time with lots and lots of money of downtime on these machines. It's also great for training in real time. The fourth one is digital workflow, and that's where you really get some great ROI, because the machine's not going to break in the first place because you're doing your work procedures right the first time. You're reducing errors. It's literally a step-by-step instruction, Carl, and I think that's really important for the front line. They're doing it today, but they might have checklists on their laptop, their tablet, or they might even just have it on pieces of paper, posted on the wall, or in a big old dog-eared manual. So a digital workflow is a major game changer. We have a lot of partners that offer this, as you may know, that you're already running on your mobile devices. So there's a lot more. I won't cover them all. One of the new favorite ones that I've seen is IBM Inspector Wearable, where it actually can use AI, computer vision, and machine learning, right? All big buzzwords right now, but it's actually on the device, and you can actually train the model to notice that there's a defect on a specific part. So, and that's all in real time while you're just walking around doing inspections. All of these solutions, all these use cases, and there's many more. We have 200 or more solutions just out in the wild that people have just adopted and ported their software to Realwear. And it's pretty easy to do that if you're a developer. It's as easy as APK, as we say, but we also have a new marketplace, and that's at marketplace.realwear.com. So please do check it out while we're chatting today. So on that marketplace, you'll see hands-free for Zoom, Microsoft Teams, all enterprise apps, right? WebEx. I'm just listing just a few here just to give you a sample. Team Viewer Frontline, Vuforia Chalk, you may have heard of, and then LibreStream On-Site, which is an advanced frontline solution as well. So let's dig in. I'm on the marketing side, as I mentioned, so I'm very familiar with these case studies. So I do want to spend a little bit of time on a couple, and then there's a third one that I'll play as a video. Okay, so first, let's talk about Mars. It is a very well-loved brand, so that's where I love to start. Mars Pet Care is actually another best-loved sub-brand, and they are creating a better world for pets, right? And they're a leading provider of high-quality, science-backed nutrition and therapeutic health pet products, pet food, right? And for Mars Pet Care, as many of you know, being in the food industry, consumers and food, efficiency is everything, right? And the global Mars supply excellence team at Mars Pet Care was tasked to streamline its production facilities, right? Including minimizing maintenance downtime and increasing workers' skill and safety. And in that pursuit of efficiency, the team leader, the coach, wanted to reduce maintenance downtime and travel costs associated with training its associates. So like the other coaches at Mars Pet Care, his responsibilities required him to spend about 80% of his time traveling in factories all over the US. And the IT team, which I'm sure many of you work with or are on the phone, actually approved quickly the solution and rolled out Realwear devices to all factories, 14 factories total across the US. So that project was a really big success for Mars Pet Care, a great frontline story, and other sites followed in that pursuit. They noticed word travels fast, of course, if something's working well, and it didn't take long for these other teams to adopt Realwear as well into their own processes, discovering new processes as well. And so that's one example. The other I'll switch to is also food related. It's Nemco, who is a provider. They source machinery, technical equipment in the Nordics region. They provide its customers with servicing and maintenance packages. They have a team of about 14 techs who travel, again, ensuring that the machines are running smoothly while maintaining service level SLAs. With Realwear, they were able to have instant access to a specialist working remotely. Not only has that provided them an environmental benefit by eliminating the need for specialists to travel, but it also resulted in a significant reduction in the fee invoice to the customer, which is a big customer benefit to using Realwear. So those are two. And then I also will go ahead and play one of my favorite clips. It was actually originally played on prime time on the BBC. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Well, Carl wants to show me a new bit of kit which he says is revolutionising the way they work.
Carl, are you there?
Hello, Greg. Yeah, how you doing?
Where are you? What about, are you holding a camera or something?
No, I'm actually wearing some new technology. This technology is a headset that means that I'm completely hands-free. So if we've got a problem, we don't need to fly people in. We can put the headset on and then those people can see exactly what I can see.
I get it. You can walk around and show them remotely what the problem is.
Yeah, exactly that. And we've done that recently with a piece of equipment. So we connected the supplier of a piece of equipment who are based in Seattle with people that work out of our Dallas office, with a guy that works out of the Netherlands, and people in Leicester with the headset, all connected together via this technology to solve a problem.
That is fabulous. I am loving that. But how long have you had that?
We got 3 headsets delivered last week.
Well, that bit of kit came just in time, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. It really did. It's really impressive. It's a game changer for us.
And this new hands-free headset is giving me the chance to see the pace of production up close.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We're going to jump to the questions and answers section of this webinar, and I'll start it off. Aaron, why should the consumer packaging and goods industry care about this technology?
Yeah, so I think I covered, some of the problems on the front line, and really it's a macro trend that's happening and it's impacting CPG. Like I said, the skills gap is growing. There's a workforce retainment issue. There's a lot of turnover in CPG. AI is coming in fast, and these machines are getting more and more complex. And all of those things are combined, and safety continues to be the #1 priority. What we need to do is we need to empower the frontline teams. Give them, they deserve it, the best technology out there. There's a lot of different technologies out there. Realwear is known as the gold standard. So I would say, give them the best. And CPG it has been transforming for quite a while through their digital transformation efforts, but it's completely accelerated, especially with AI coming in. And Realwear is really, really well positioned to leverage all of that. And so if you get, this is a great gateway product to get the front line essentially familiar with the digital world. And it's made just for these types of industries. Manufacturing is one of the #1 industries where this device is sold.
Thank you for that. So, Aaron, how am I able, or how can my team integrate our existing software systems with Realwear products?
Right. So I would, once you get the device going, we have a lot of different integrations. It's truly an enterprise grade product, and a lot of people throw that word around. I'll just give you an example. A lot of the products that you see that call themselves smart glasses actually started as consumer devices. So they're the same product, but they've been remarketed. And so when you get them and you try to connect them, you try to share them with your IT teams, they immediately say they're not going to work. Then you put them on your frontline worker to try, and they say this is not going to work at all. This isn't safe. and it won't even pass safety compliance. Some of them have tethers on them. So that's one thing. The other thing about enterprise is that it needs to integrate and be compatible with your backend systems, with your security protocols. Realwear is fully set up as your partner to come in there and look at all those requirements together and make that work. But right out of the gate, even if you don't have the device on, you can get to work with it by taking photos or not navigating documents.
Wow, sounds like you got a fantastic piece of hardware with fantastic software applications. So how would an interested buyer start the process of getting a Realwear device for themselves?
Right. So first of all, we would say that the best thing to do, well, we have partners all over the world, resellers in your local areas. So what you should do is go to realwear.com and contact us, or you can DM me in the LinkedIn chat if you'd like. But either way, contact us. We can give you a live demo, of course. Our resellers can give you a demo as well. We can talk about what problem you're trying to solve is. And what we recommend is the crawl, walk, run approach, which means get the device, try it out, share it with your team, let them get their feedback. We like to say, just within a few seconds, you'll get that big smile on someone's face because they realize this is such a game changer for them. And then when you put the new app on and they get to communicate with someone, some of these people don't have a lot of time, don't have the ability to communicate because of how loud the area is or because of the connectivity issues, Carl. And so this really makes a big difference.
Well, Aaron, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us in this webinar. And thank you very much for everybody. And yeah, thank you everybody else for joining us today. And we hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks.
My name is Jacqueline Fink, and today I'm going to show you some examples on how customers are using the Realwear Navigator 500 device today. To start, let's take a look at what you can do with the device right out of box. I'm going to be showing you everything I'm seeing on my micro display here. This micro display views like a 7-inch tablet held at arm's length and situates just below your line of sight on whatever your dominant eye is. The Realwear Navigator 500 has a 48 megapixel camera attached to it that works great in low light environments and has advanced image stabilization technology. I can access the camera with my voice by reading off the prompt on the screen. My camera? Our camera has so many robust features and different things that you can do just with your voice. Exposure level 1. So for example, like right there where I change exposure level, I can also zoom in on objects as well. Zoom level 3. And then from here, I can either record a video or take a photo. Take photo. Now let's go check that out. My files. The Realwear Navigator 500 has 64 gigabytes of internal storage, along with the ability to add a micro SD card. By going into my files, I can see everything stored on my device. And if you're connected to Wi-Fi, you can even access your different cloud storages through this. By moving my head left to right is how I scroll on the screen. I'm even using just slight head motion, so if you're climbing up a ladder, you're not making yourself unsafe by scrolling on the screen. My documents. Let's look at some of the PDF documents we have stored on the device. You can have everything from a 400-page manual to your simple just wiring layouts and other reference guides. Wiring layout. For me, the small text in here is a little difficult to read on the screen. So that's why on the top right, we have that same zoom functionality that we used in the camera. Zoom level 3. Now I can move my head around the document and find the location I want to focus in on. And when I do, I simply just say, freeze window. And now it's locked into place, and I can use this as a reference. If I need to look at another place in the document or go back, I can simply just read the prompts off the screen, control window, and now I have control of the window again. Freeze window, navigate home. Because the Navigator 500 runs on Android, you can put your favorite third-party application on the device. For example, you can use your desired video conferencing application to make hands-free remote calls to someone that can see what you're doing and even walk you through steps of how to fix it. I'm going to use the example of Zoom on our device today. Because the Navigator 500 runs on Android, you can put your favorite third-party application on the device. For example, you can use your desired video conferencing application to make hands-free remote calls to someone so they can see what you're doing and even walk you through steps with their voice of how to fix something. An example of that I'll show you. Let's use Zoom. My programs, hands-free for Zoom. From here, I can either enter in the meeting ID, or actually I'm going to use a quick trick and I'm going to actually scan a QR code. Scan code. On the other end, I'm admitting myself into this meeting. Start video. And to give you an example, I'll pull in my Zoom screen so you can see what the person on the other end would be seeing. It's really quick to get into these video conferencing calls, and there's all different types. The simple ones that you're used to just make a straightforward video call, or there's more robust ones where you can add an annotation so I can see in real time on my device a line or a circle to help better explain something I'm trying to fix. Terminate call. Leave meeting. Navigate home. Another great use case on the Navigator 500 is digital workflow. This allows for step-by-step instructions on the device to help you fix something or build something, or you can even fill out your inspection sheets with your voice. My programs, Workflow Plus. I have an example up right now. This is a lockout tagout guide, so giving me step-by-step instructions to follow to complete lockout tagout. I can have images that I have to reference. View image 1. So this is showing me the valve that I actually have to look at. I can even zoom in on this image if I needed to. Navigate back. And then I can even have reference photos in here so that someone can look back later and guarantee that I did do the task that I said I did. Capture photo. Take photo. Next step. This is asking me to take a photo of my supervisor's ID that my supervisor approved. Capture photo. Take photo. Next step. And now I've successfully completed this task. Thank you for joining me for this basic demo of the Realwear Navigator 500.